Dr. Keith Ablow is a forensic psychiatrist and a member of our Fox News Medical A-team. Dr. Keith, good morning.
Yeah, look, I'm a doctor, right? So the data matters to me, and I object to using pseudoscience to justify political agendas. We have to talk to our children and say, the message from the president is toxic, and it can affect your life negatively if you listen to what he's saying and believe it. I think psychologically speaking, it's time for him to wonder whether something about having a white grandmother who had it in for or had fear of black men really soured him on white folks at some deep level. He's a dispiriting president who has it in for the American public. And
why?
He masterfully... Why? Well, because I think that he... Well, it's a long story, but I think he distrusts autonomy. I think people abandoned him in his life again and again and again, and individual decision-making is anathema to him. He hates it. When you don't have a core, you're able to slip the binding of your own existence, if you will, and play other presidents. And that grasping for who am I? Am I Teddy Roosevelt? Am I Abraham Lincoln? I assure you I'm not a pedophile
I want to hear
at
what you're
all.
saying.
I did not evaluate Joe Biden, but if someone said to me, listen, we want you to do what's really required to know what happened there, you have to put dementia on the differential diagnosis. You have to say bizarre laughter, interrupting. If this were your dad or your grandfather, wouldn't you say, if you brought him to me, Keith, you got to tell me, is he suffering with dementia because he can't seem to listen, he's laughing inappropriately? There's a real victim mentality here, and it really explains the president's whole mentality and many of his policies.
Let me speak as though I'm coming from deep inside the president's psyche. You miserable people have destroyed so much in the world in terms of good things.
Here's the translation psychologically of this malaise. When we elected someone out of fear, after 9/11, I think we elected a president who we acknowledged the world would consider, well, not so bad, not so utterly American, not so on our side in a certain way. Barack Obama does not have the will of the American people, Americanism in his soul. He's not the closer unless the American people want to commit suicide as a nation, and he's the guy to push you off the cliff.
Right.
Spoken as a psychiatrist.
That's
He wants out of America, my friend.
Well, all right. Dr. Keith
Trust
Ablow.
me, the culture of dependency that's being created by this administration, which is a favorite psychological topic of mine, that is the enemy. Has it in for women, doesn't like the notion of birth, embraces death, like suicide bombers. Very simple.
Do we honestly think children are going to watch this and say, you know what, I'd like to change my sex too? That's what you've indicated,
Yes.
is if kids are going to jump, tomboys are going to say,
Well, hold
no,
on a second. You asked a question,
Yes.
and Dr.
This is-
Ablow
this
is
is
ready to
absurd.
answer. Go ahead, doctor.
Yes, indeed. Human beings have their behavior kindled. They model their behavior on others.
Children pretend to do what their parents do. Part of normal development for children is that they emulate their parents. They pretend to be doctors, psychologists. Your children sit around probably and try and pretend to fix problems. Little girls and little boys watch their mothers feed babies, and then they try and pretend to feed babies.
Okay,
They
let
may
me
cook
quickly
dinner,
read to you
they
what
may
the
give
toy
babies
manufacturers say. I have a statement from the toy
Craziest
company
thing I've
of
ever heard.
Bergeron.